Hey folks, some breaking news for you. Earlier today, U.S. forces carried out a precision strike in the Caribbean that killed reportedly 11 narco-terrorists who were linked to Venezuela's Tren de Aragua cartel. Now, the strike destroyed the vessel before it could make its run north, and it marks the latest step in a major U.S. military buildup in that region. Now, President Trump announced the operation himself in writing on social media. He said, quote, "Earlier this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists in the Southcom area of responsibility. TDA is designated a foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolás Maduro, responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and acts of violence and terror across the United States and the Western Hemisphere. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters, transporting illegal narcotics heading to the United States. The strike resulted in 11 terrorists killed in action. No U.S. forces were harmed in this strike. Please let this serve as notice to anybody even thinking about bringing drugs into the United States of America. Beware. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Tren de Aragua has become one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the Americas. It began more than a decade ago inside Venezuela's notorious Tocoron prison in the central state of Aragua, where hardened criminals operated with impunity. From those origins, the gangs built an empire of extortion, drug smuggling, and human trafficking, and in recent years, it's expanded dramatically as more than 7.5 million Venezuelans fled economic collapse and spread across Latin America and into the United States. Now, Tren de Aragua has followed that migration route, embedding itself in multiple countries and exporting violence far beyond Venezuela's borders. The strike comes as the United States has ramped up its military presence in the Caribbean since mid-August. More than 4,500 sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guard personnel are now deployed under U.S. Southern Command. The mission is coordinated by the Joint Interagency Task Force South, which specializes in counter-drug operations. 22 countries are contributing intelligence and operational support, including Colombia and Costa Rica. At sea, the Navy has deployed the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group with ships like the USS Iwo Jima, the USS San Antonio, and the USS Fort Lauderdale. They carry Marines, helicopters, and reconnaissance aircraft and can launch strikes if required. Several destroyers, a cruiser, and at least one nuclear-powered submarine are also patrolling the waters. A P-8 Poseidon aircraft is flying daily surveillance missions also over the area to detect smugglers. The Marine Corps' 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit is about 2,200 men strong, and it's conducting drills in Puerto Rico and is on call for boarding operations and rapid interdictions. The Air Force is supporting with airborne command and control platforms like AWACS and JSTARS, which track targets and pass intelligence to ships at sea. The Coast Guard remains on the front line with cutters and helicopters boarding suspicious vessels and seizing narcotics. But this is the first time that we've seen them actually strike and kill narcotics traffickers rather than stop and try to board them. The scale of this deployment is going beyond standard counter-drug missions. U.S. commanders say it's meant as both a security operation and a show of force. Officials emphasize that the mission is focused on narco-trafficking, but the timing inevitably raises questions about what the future is for Venezuela. Nicolás Maduro, who lost the last election, has refused to step down, and he remains in power in Caracas. The U.S. considers him a legitimate target and an illegitimate president, and has posted a $50 million reward for his capture. One of his closest allies also carries a $15 million reward as well. Maduro has responded to the U.S. buildup by mobilizing millions of Venezuelans to defend against what he claims could be an invasion, although the quality of those troops being mobilized is suspect to say the least. Take a look.
From the municipality of Magatan, an invitation is extended to the entire LGBTQ+ community to participate in Yo Si Malisto es Tricolor, Combagnino tratando hasta step years to support our President Nicolás Maduro and to defend our homeland Venezuela.
So there is precedent to taking out an illegitimate president like this. In 1989, U.S. forces invaded Panama here and removed Manuel Noriega, who was also tied to narcotics trafficking. Analysts say a similar operation against Maduro is unlikely for now, but the scale of the current deployment shows that Washington is serious and is prepared to escalate pressure in the hemisphere. So for now, operations continue, with the Caribbean once again becoming a central stage in America's war on narco trafficking. We'll have to stay tuned and see what happens next. Take care.